Hello, I'm Brian Mckeon, partner at the JMB FLP. And today we'll be reviewing the following CNBC shows: Fast Money, Mad Money, and Options Action for the week of March 23rd to March 27th, 2009. Now, this is merely a review of the following shows: Fast Money, Mad Money, and Options Action, and only looks at the upside plays on these shows, not the underlying options used in these calls. And ETFs may be used in place of indexes and commodities. Now, what we merely do is get an average analyst ranking from their plays to these free websites. Now, first we move on to Fast Money's very own Guy Adami. For the week, he chose Oracle, Abbott, IBM, Natural Gas, and XTO Energy for his upside plays, and all those are rated in the buy camp this week as a moderate buy. Also, here's all the plays that he picked for the week to move to the upside that rate a hold at this time. Also, here's all the Guy Adami's plays that he picked for the week that rate a sell at this time. Also, he had two other ETFs that have no analyst coverage at this time. Now, there was also a special guest appearance from Heather Bellini. She had Oracle, which made it into the buy camp this week as a moderate buy. As for Karen Feineman's picks for the week, all of her upside plays, she had TBT make it into the buy camp. Next, Jeff Mackey, he had Pot, Mosaic, and Walmart make it into the buy camp. Of course, you can see his hold and his sells. Next, Mark Mckeon was on the show, and he had Akamai make it into the buy camp this week. Now, there's also a special guest appearance from Gene Munster. None of his plays made it into the buy camp this week. Also, John Najarian made an appearance on the show, and none of his things made it into the buy camp this week. As for his brother Pete, he had Gold, Potash, Oracle, Akamai, and Mosaic make it into the buy camp with ratings of moderate buy. Also, here's a pick that he made that made it into the hold camp this week. Also, for all of his upside plays that he made, these are the ones that currently rate a sell by those websites. And he also had JJC and FLM, which have no analyst coverage at this time. Now, there was also an appearance by Richard Repetto, and none of his things made it into the buy camp this week. Now, as for Tim Seymour, he had DBA and PTM make it into the buy camp with a rating of strong buy. Also, he had Gold, CYB, IBM, PTR, RTP, SNP, TSM, and Natural Gas come in as moderate buys. Also, here's a look at all of Tim's upside plays that rate a hold at this time. Also, here's a look at all his upside plays that rate a sell at this time. He also had an iShare, which has no analyst ranking at this time. Now, there's also a special guest appearance from Jim Seba. None of his things made it into the buy camp this week. As for Joe Terranova, he had IBM make it into the buy camp. And Whitney Telson made an appearance on the show, and none of his things made it into the buy camp this week. As for Carter Worth, none of his things made it into the buy camp. There's also a special guest appearance from Edward Yardeni. You can see none of his things made it into the buy camp. Now, onto the show Fast Money with Jim Cramer. We have CVX, McDonald's, Potash, APD, Foster Wheeler, J&J, Coca-Cola, Mosaic, MRO, Pepsi, STJ, TSM, UNP, and Verizon make it into the buy camp with a rating of moderate buy. Also, here's a look at all of Jim's upside plays for the week that rate a hold at this time. And here's a look at all of Jim's upside plays which rate a sell at this time. Now onto the show Options Action. Now, of all of Stacy Gilbert's upside plays, Potash was the only one to make it into the buy camp this week with a rating of moderate buy. Same with Mike. He has Potash, and that rates a moderate buy. There's also a new appearance of Scott Nations, and none of his things made it into the buy camp this week. And Brian Sutherland, he had Potash as well. So again, in review of all of their upside buy plays, DBA and PTM are the only ones that rate a strong buy. Also, here is a list of all of the upside plays that those TV shows made that rate in the moderate buy camp. So if you'd like to take a look at them, you can pause here. So again, I'd like to remind you that all analyst recommendations are as of February 27, 2009. And I am not a licensed investment advisor, and the investments I am showing you today, what I'm doing for my friends and family's accounts. And I am not affiliated with CNBC or any of its affiliates, and any of the websites used to determine these rankings. And I currently own shares of Apple, Amazon, Agriculture, General Electric, IBM, MetLife, Mosaic, Morgan Stanley, and Natural Gas. So again, this is Brian Mckeon from the JMB FLP saying thank you and see you next time.